Let's turn our attentions to Newcastle then, because we're going to speak to Craig Hope. Good morning to you, Craig. Look, last time we spoke, Craig, the balloons were out, weren't they, behind you? I'm guessing that the fireworks are out, the bunting's up, the street parties have started. Newcastle must be buzzing right now.
It's party time every other Saturday up here at the moment. It really is. But you mentioned there, Vicky, the last time I was on the show, and I think it was you who said to me that Newcastle had started the season with 1 win in 7. Now, that was factually correct, of course it was, but I came back at you and I said it's not 1 win in 7, it is 1 defeat in 7, because I was absolutely convinced that the games they had drawn would turn into victories, and so it has proved. What is it now, 7 and 8, 5 on the spin to put them third in the table, and the word I want to use is sustainable. Now, I have seen Newcastle teams in recent seasons even embark on winning runs, but it's always felt streaky. It's always felt as if it wouldn't last. This will last. As I said there, I'm absolutely convinced in what Eddie Howe is doing with that group of players. And the scary thing for the rest of the division, guys, is that Newcastle are getting better. They're up there in third, which is where they deserve to be. So, yeah, it really is party time. Everybody's happy.
Jamie Carragher has been saying Eddie Howe, of course, manager of the month this month as well, is getting the most from his players at the moment. Would you agree with that? Absolutely.
And the stat I will use to exemplify that, and it's a very good stat, I think it's an important one as well, is that 6 of the 10 starters in recent weeks were at the club pre-takeover. So that is 6 of the 10 outfield starters, players who, by people who sought to defend the previous manager, some on this station, radio shows, newspapers, all the rest of it, they were put down as championship players. Players good enough, not good enough for the Premier League. Eddie Howe has come in and he has improved every one of them to a man. Tactically, technically, physically, mentally. And I just think it really speaks as a victory for coaching that the fact that the bulk of the side were already at the club. Listen, they've bought well, of course they've bought well, but Eddie has still worked with those players and brought about huge improvement with them. And as I touched on earlier, they are still getting better and better week on week. And Jamie Carragher is absolutely right. For me, right now, Eddie Howe is the best coach in the country.
Craig, we've had you on the show for a while, the last couple of seasons on Super Sunday Matchday. I've never seen a smile that big on your face before. Just talk to us about the last time they were in the top 3 for Christmas, because they actually went on to finish in the top 4. Are you daring to get excited about that now?
Pep Guardiola 2 weeks ago said that Newcastle United were contenders. I don't know whether he was talking about the title or the top 4, whatever it may be. Pep Guardiola was right, and the reason I say that is this is a unique season for Newcastle. I think they can gate crash the top 4. They've got no European football during the week. It really is an opportunity for them. And if you want to be exposed to any manager Monday to Friday without the distraction of a midweek game, week on week, it probably is Eddie Howe right now, just for all of the reasons I've outlined with regards to improvement. I think they can stay up there. I really do. I think it's a unique opportunity for them, and I fully expect them to stay there. They're being very guarded with regards to their ambitions right now, but given the run they're on, and, is the break a good thing? Is the break a bad thing? Well, the break, you can't go in 5 games on the spin and say it's a good thing. But if you want to have an extra 7 weeks to work with any manager right now to bring about even more improvement, it probably is Eddie Howe.
Craig, you look at some of these takeovers, I think back to Manchester City, to Chelsea at the moment, and plenty more besides, that don't bring immediate progress. It's normally quite a rocky road. Newcastle have brought in a number of key appointments, Darren Eales, Dan Ashworth. Behind the scenes, they've got the likes of Mark Leyland, Andy Howe, and various other people who seem to be gelling really well, really quickly. They're improving the training ground infrastructure. Eddie Howe has hit the ground running where many people thought he was going to fail and may have been washed up and was a relegation manager post-Bournemouth. They've confounded all of that so far. Are you surprised at how quickly it's happening?
To a degree, yes, and I think even owners would admit to that surprise themselves. And you mentioned Eddie Howe there, David, and the surprise, the disappointment. And I think there was a lot of people who thought that when Eddie came in, he would be Newcastle's equivalent of Mark Hughes at Manchester City at the outset of their project post-takeover. Now, I probably believed that myself to a degree. I can honestly say in the last 12 months, I have changed my mind. Newcastle's owners have hit upon the manager in Eddie Howe, who can take them all the way. Now, what they have done off the field, it's just positivity. It's not rocket science. They've re-engaged with the supporter base. They've got recruitment right. They've got put good people in the right positions. For so long at this football club, there was an absolute vacuum of expertise, of good people at the right levels. So they've sort of addressed that, and at the moment, everything is positive and everything is moving in the right direction.
That's a good place to end our conversation then, isn't it? Thank you ever so much, Craig. As always,
Craig.
enjoy your World Cup break, if you get one.
Thank you, guys.